Hi, welcome to PJ Maybe's YouTube channel. I'm actually going to do a live review on Chance in a Million. Chance in a Million, what can I say, one of the best programmes out there. I think it's up there with Fawlty Towers. I think it's an unknown gem of a show. It is just so funny. Simon Callow is just superb as Tom Chance, the aforesaid Chance in a Million. His life is plagued with coincidences, both good and bad, usually bad, but as he says, he doesn't need to work because he's got 10 premium bonds that give him enough to live on, although 4 of them haven't come up yet, so he's thinking of getting rid of them. So 6 premium bonds gives him enough week to week to live on, so he doesn't need to work. And if he did work, whatever he was doing, coincidentally, it would probably crash. It'd probably not work. It'd fail. Starts off from right at the beginning where he meets Alison. Brenda Blethyn. She plays Alison, the mousy librarian with the heart of a seductress and a vixen. She's just so funny in it. She plays the wee mousy librarian so well. Simon Callow's Tom is on a blind date. Turns up, the girl's not there yet, and Alison turns up to meet her long lost cousin Tom, who doesn't show up initially. So she's sitting waiting. Tom walks in expecting his blind date, Alison, and they introduce each other. And Tom thinks it's a blind date, Alison thinks it's her cousin. So as you can see, start off coincidentally. She's looking for a Tom, he's looking for an Alison, they find the wrong ones. Then Tom's date turns up and gets knocked out, and they organise to meet up later on. Coincidence goes from there to there. The initial episode, I've seen the original pilot. The original pilot was better. The original pilot had a different second half where it was more of a set-up comedy of errors in the restaurant rather than a angry comedy of errors. The one it was shown tied up parts and parcel of the early part where they met a girl who was trying to avoid her husband because she was going to meet her boyfriend. Second half, it was the boyfriend who was the waiter, whereas in the original it was a case of it was a set-up because the restaurant had hired actors to cause a fight in it to give the other patrons a show. But Tom turned up, said the right words, they assumed he was the actor, so when the fight ensued, that's what it was. I thought that was a better storyline, it was funnier, whereas the one in the other half, the waiter who was angry and causing the fight, was because his girlfriend didn't turn up, and it just so happened to be the same girl that Tom and Alison had met earlier on, and she was trying to avoid her husband, but her husband caught her and she blamed everybody else. It tied up a bit better, but not as funny. The great Bill Pertwee stars in it as well. He's only in about maybe 6 of the 18 episodes throughout the 3 seasons, but he is a mainstay, and he's just great as the sergeant. He's the one that's the go-between between the police force and Tom. And as he says, if you find Tom standing over a woman, or standing over a body which is covered in blood and he's holding a knife, just assume they've dropped tomato ketchup on her and Tom's trying to help her after burnt toast. His coincidence, the sergeant knows all about his coincidences, although he keeps getting arrested by special branch. He's been thrown in the river because they thought he was a terrorist, and he was about to blow up his bomb he was carrying, so they threw him into a river. It turns around he was accidentally looked like the guy, or the description he was given was just coincidentally looked like Tom. You get things like that throughout. You also have Tom's drinking habit, and I'll show you a wee bit of it. It's basically, he does this throughout the episodes. When going for a drink, mid-sentence, he will, as you can see there, he'll mid-sentence talking, reach down for a pint and jump. They do make a joke about his drinking habits and such like, but it is well done each way. But yes, he does do it a lot, and they do comment about his alcoholism. This is one of the funniest shows I've seen. I remember it from when it was initially on, and it stuck with me. And when I got the chance of the DVD, I picked it up, snatched it up, and I have watched it. I've watched it probably a good 10, 20 times. It's just so funny. It's not made for kids. It's definitely not. There's a lot of I wouldn't say Benny Hill humour, but there is a lot of women running about in their brand pants, or Alison trying to seduce Tom and somebody catches them. It's play for fun. It's all it is. It's just the typical carry-on type humour, 70s humour with the scantily clad women, but somebody always gets dragged in. Like, for instance, there's a bit where a female's, I can't remember if it wasn't a football team or a rugby team, it was a team of females. They were trying to set a record for the most women in their pyjamas in a phone box, when phone boxes were a thing. And they asked, and Tom offered his house for them to change. And just as they come in to get changed, Alison's mum arrived and gets dragged in, and she's sitting there watching all these women in pure shock and horror. And then Tom comes in, thinks she's part of the team, and offers her pyjamas, and she freaks out. Throughout the thing, Tom's mum is superb in it. She is a nervous wreck because Tom is in her daughter's life. She doesn't like it. She thinks it's going to not end well, and it doesn't. It never seems to end well for the mother or the father. I think they get arrested. They've had their house demolished because of drugs. They've been arrested due to a bank robbery. They have fallen down a sewer and spent, I would say, the good part of a day down here, if not longer. The father has been punched numerous times, once by Tom, because somebody thought Tom had sold the son a car. So he came along with a hammer and smashed up who he thought was Tom's car. Turned out it was Tom's father's car, or Alison's father's car. And after the man smashed up the car, handed the sledgehammer to Alison's father and told him if he ever sold another car like that, it would be him getting hit with the hammer. So the father-in-law's standing there, pure shock, with the hammer. Tom comes out, because Alison says that's her dad's car. She comes out, sees Alison's dad with the hammer, assumes he was the one that smashed it all up, and punched him. Coincidentally. All this is coincidence. They've been raided numerous times because kids changed the road number, the road sign. So his house just so happens to look like another house with the same number on a different street. But because the kids have got a habit of changing all the street signs, he's constantly getting the police coming in, or he's had his house fumigated and they've had to sleep in a ship, a yacht, which is parked up outside because he won it 14 years or so previously. Then it got stolen the next day, coincidentally, and then it turned up coincidentally 14 years later, all in one piece. And just in time for him needing it, because coincidentally his house got fumigated and he had to sleep in it. You can see the theme throughout. They do the theme throughout very small ways, large ways, everything. The episode with Stephen Fry is really good. Stephen plays a minister, and Tom and Alison are going to Alison's night out. She's dressed as it's a vicars and prostitute themed party, and so she's dressed as a prostitute, but she goes in with Tom to get some alcohol, and the shopkeeper thinks she's a prostitute and refuses to serve her, which Tom steps in, and also the fact is the ministers have an argument backwards and forwards. Stephen Fry's all in favour of that someone's profession shouldn't exclude her from being served, and other ones are saying no, it shouldn't be, and that's a fight. Considering it was just all based on a coincidental misunderstanding that, surprise, surprise, they all end up in prison. And all friendly once they've understood it was all coincidental and all an accident, so yes, the fight was nothing. There is a lot of bits like that. You get some characters pop up that you recognise. Is it Mrs. McCluskey, I think was the character in Grange Hill? She played the headmistress. She appears in this in an episode as a villain. Or is it a villainous? Is it a mole? A villain's better half? Although she certainly is the better half to the villain in the story, who keeps robbing something, but somebody keeps stealing his money. Coincidentally, it's Tom. Tom's got the same car as the robbers, so when he pops the boot, the guy puts all the money in the boot, Tom closes the boot and drives off. Just coincidentally, every time they rob something and gets away with it, Tom turns up and he gets it by accident. Just due to a series of coincidences, and they turn up in the restaurant where the two of them are, and he's got his tickets to fly abroad, coincidentally in the same case as Tom's got, so Tom ends up with it and they end up with the ticket and the money and everything. So it is just well played throughout. The guys that wrote it actually wrote the British Empire about 5 years after this, and British was a similar type of character. Basically, British would do and say things that he had no clue that how bad he was, how moronic he was. He just thought he was doing the best thing. He was very, very good at telling people what they should be doing without any concept of his own annoyance. He would say things which were perfectly reasonable to his mind, but people just took it the wrong way. Tom's is the opposite. Tom accepts the fact that he is always going to be in the middle of it. While he's in the middle of it, he's the one that always seems to... He gets the good and the bad, but he accepts his lot in life. Everybody else around him is chaos. Tom accepts it. He grew up with the coincidences happening to him. He just gets along with it. But Simon Callow plays it so well. He's got this very Victorian manner and the way of speaking, as Simon Callow has, but it's a very over-exaggerated one, and it suits Tom. Even wee silly things like his tie, he always wears a three-piece suit, but his tie is always outside the shirt. It's just a wee foible that you don't notice initially, but you always see it once you do notice it. If you go back, it's throughout. They don't make a big deal of it. It's not as if it constantly gets caught in something because it's outside. It's just that is it. He accepts his lot in life. Something happens to his trousers, he ends up with a pair of big bright red trousers up to here. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not a major issue. So I think it's just a case of one of the best programmes out there that has not been appreciated for a while. It's definitely it's something you should see. Brenda Blethyn is just so funny as the mousy librarian who wants to be a Joan Collins type figure. She's got a heart of a diva, the heart of a vixen. She's always trying to bring it out. She's always trying to get show how vivacious and sexy she is to Tom. Tom sees it, but anytime he tries to do something about it, coincidentally something happens. Something turns up at the door, something falls off the wall, something comes through. It's just so well played. It's played silly, but it's an intelligent silly, if you know what I mean. It's just the way they do it. To them, it's life. Alison accepts how it's going and learns, but her family don't. The wedding scene at the end, I would definitely actually have a look at, because the mother and father miss their own daughter's wedding because they end up in a sewer with the bridesmaid and the cake decorator and what's left of the cake, the poor cake. She made this cake, made it look amazing, and it gets ruined, but she's still holding on to it, even though they've been down in the sewers for such a long time. The poor mother and father are the brunt of most of the problems when they're on screen. Tom is usually the centre of it, but as I said, he accepts it and just rolls with the punches. My review of Chance in a Million is a must for everybody. The only thing I didn't really like about it was the extras on the DVD. You get 9 pictures. I think it was only 9 pictures. That was it. Season 2 and Season 3, you got some commentary, audio commentary, but on the whole, you only got pictures as the mainstay. You did get the audio commentary in Season 2 and Season 3. Season 1 just had the pictures. They could have done a lot more, especially now. They could have had interviews with both Simon and Brenda, and about how they played it, what they thought about it. I think that would have been a better way of doing it. Obviously, things like deleted scenes, outtakes, what's the chances they'll come across them? I can imagine there would have been a lot of the outtakes, because you don't get a programme this funny without people cracking up with the silliness of their situation. I would definitely recommend it. I hope you actually like this. I only did this to test my camera. I've already got a review up. It's probably a wee bit better than this. This is just my thoughts on the time, and my dog stoating backwards and forwards in the background. And I do see my camera's got a slight glitch on it. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to see if I can try and fix it. Nope, I'm getting a reflection from somewhere. It's from up there. I think that's what it is. It's hold on. 2 seconds. The door opened, so at least I know now that if the door's opened, I get a reflection from a light switch. So if you like what you see, subscribe. Now I've got a better camera. The camera I had previously was just poor quality. I can see it by even just what I can see in the background. The quality of the camera is better, so hopefully that'll actually give me better quality videos. And so thank you very much for watching this quick test video on Chance in a Million. If you haven't seen it, have a look at it on YouTube. Definitely have a look at it on YouTube. There is a lot out there, and remember, Tom and Alison are two of the funniest characters around. Tom's drinking, Alison's vivaciousness, and sexy Brenda. How can you actually go wrong with that? It's just so funny, so well done. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to watch it. Check YouTube. YouTube will have a few of the scenes, maybe even have full episodes, but I would definitely recommend getting that. Chance in a Million DVD is funny. So thank you very much for watching, and remember, subscribe if you want more. But thank you very much, and I will now try and end this program. So